this presentation in botanical gardens in Brisbane, talking about the different qualities of the Lord and the difference between Lord Ram's qualities and Krishna's qualities. Ram has 62.5 and Krishna has 64. These qualities are both his moods as well as his characteristics. So they are being compared with each other. In Ayodhya there is Shantaras, and the Dasya is prominent. Then Dasyaras, there's the idea that of opulence. He has this abhiman, this identity of being a king. There have some Praja Vatsalya, means the king is their protector. Their joking and laughing in Lord Ramchandra is very little. In Narayan does not have any laughing or joking. That same Narayan in the form of Narayan, that same Narayan in the form of Lord Ramchandra. In the large part of things, Lord Ram is very grave also. And this is the mood. In Sakharas, friendship, Vibhishan, Sugriv, they are friends of Lord Ram, but they have this Sambram. Sambram means they have this friendship relationship, but they cannot climb on his shoulders. They know he is God. They have this conception. They won't sit on the same asan, seat. They will sit a little bit close, like Garud and Vishwakshan. They sit far from Narayan with hands folded. Garuda is sitting far. Garud, he knows that this is Lord. He is Aptaram, Aptakam. He knows everything. He does not need any service. That's why Garuda is folding his hands 24 hours a day, ready to serve, waiting for his... The Lord can go anywhere without a vehicle, but he keeps a vehicle. He thinks Garuda thinks he's of some use, that he is the vehicle of Narayan. He is Atmaram, Aptakamata. He's no desires to fulfill and self-satisfied. With the Lord Ram, he has this pride or identity that he is king. He is affectionate to his citizens, and he shows less affection to his children, to his wife, but more to his citizens. He's able to renounce the affection of his close family members for the benefit of the citizens. And still, Lord Ramchandra is telling that you are chaste, you have to give some evidence. He is God himself. He knows, but for the general people, he is teaching this to increase their faith in the citizens. When Sita Devi gave birth to the two boys, Love and Kush, so Lord Ramchandra asked, "Are these my children?" He asked for the sake of the citizens. Valmiki said, I never lie. And from my transcendental vision, I know that these two boys are the sons of Lord Ram, and Sita is chaste. Lord Ramchandra knows, but still he is saying, give me evidence. What evidence? There was not any DNA test at that time. Then, at that time, Lord Ramchandra said, still, she will have to give some proof. And then she came in the assembly. I take this vow that I have never seen the face of any other man apart from Lord Ramchandra's. And these are your children. If the earth should open up and the personification of Mother Earth should come, then she entered on the lap of Prithvi Devi and returned to the earth. So this affection for his children is less than to his citizens. Sakha Vatsalya, Madhurya. The Ramchandra very little dealings of laughing and joking with Sita or the children. He was very grave even with them. This is called Maryada, following the etiquettes of society and the post that Lord Ramchandra was holding. With Sitaji, Lord Ramchandra had very strict dealings and grave. This has been shown in Ramayana. If you look at how much suffering Sita had to go through after marriage, sometime later she had to enter the forest, but somehow or another they did not have any intimate relationship for 14 years. They did not have any children at that time. This is showing us when Lord Ramchandra stayed in the forest, even being married, they stayed at brahmacharis, renunciates, taking dreadlocks. This is why Lord Ramchandra is known as Upakurban. Upakurban brahmachari. This is one type of brahmachari. One is Naistic brahmachari. This Upakurban brahmachari, even being married, they do not have an intimate relationship with their partner. They have a wife, but that relationship between husband and wife is not there. When did Sita Devi become pregnant? When they returned back to Ayodhya and became king. Sita Devi showed her human-like pastimes. They gave sanskars, purificatory processes to the boys. Those people were blaming Lord Ram. Sita told Ram herself, I am expecting a child. That purification process that needs to be done, I want to stay in the association of the sadhus and saints. The two boys, Love and Kush, they were born under those circumstances where Sita had this association of the rishis in the forest. In the mode of goodness, near the sadhus, like Prahlad, stating Kayadu's womb and Narad ashram, and he heard Harikatha. Lord Ramchandra was pleased to hear this. And Lord Ramchandra had to stay back to perform the royal duties. In this way, Yogamaya arranged this pastime. And together, Kaktalya, this dosha, this fault, Kaktalya dosha. In one proverb, the one crow is flying from the tal fruit landed on the head of the crow, and the crow died. At the same time as the crow is flying, the fruit from the tree fell on the crow and killed the crow. That very moment was passing underneath. In this way, these two occurrences, circumstances occur, that this is called Kaktalya dosh in Sanskrit, a term. This is a proverb. What is Kaktalya dosh? True, like coincidence. This by chance. Even though everything is taken care of by the Lord's desire, but still we have this. It was not the fault of the fruit to fall on the crow to kill it. And nor was it the crow's desire that the fruit land on its head. In this circumstance, in English, we call chance. Karya or Karan, cause and effect. So these two are always running side by side, cause and effect.
In the material world.
Like everything's by the Lord's desire that Sita was expecting a child. At that time, and she said that she wanted to go to the forest, and then at the same time the citizens were pointing fingers at Sita Devi that she was unchaste. She had to prove her chastity. She stayed for 1 year by herself. It's written in Shastra. If that woman who stays away from her husband for that period of time, then she has a black mark against her. In Shastra it is said, one husband and wife, they must stay together. So otherwise, what is the meaning of being married? They should stay together. If you live separately, and if they live separately or stay separately, then their mind will be disturbed, and the chastity or loyalty to each other will be questionable. And the scriptures do not give this consent for a husband and wife to live separately from each other, because one would wander here and there and become attracted by something else or someone else. Swami Maharaj used to say, the ladies should be protected at all times. From at young age, they should be protected by stay with their parents. In their youth, if they're married, they should stay with their husband, and in old age, they should stay with their sons or daughters. If we speak this in the Western countries, then the people get upset because they think they don't have their independence. This independence is not given so freely, because as a result of this, the society can become corrupt. This society is dependent on the character of the ladies or women. Try and understand this. These people say this is discrimination. This discrimination is naturally there through the body. Male bodies are different, female bodies are different. We did not create this discrimination. The Lord created it. Yeah, this is there. So then, we are not saying. From birth, this difference is there. So in Shastras, it's written in scriptures that mothers, daughters, sisters, this is a very unique and exceptional quality in this dharma, in this line. We have to keep this intact at all times, because our happiness in this material world is dependent on our parents. By this relationship, if a mother is unchaste or uncontrolled in her behavior, then what impression will it create on the children? The child stays largely with the child. What the mother does, the child is seeing and has impressions. They're getting these impressions. Who is my mother going with? Who they're staying with? The children are watching. That impressions are going in the children, and if the mother is doing something bad, then that gives a bad impression on the children. So in society, this unchastity is prevalent. Vana Shankar is something else. When the husband dies, Vana Shankar is a different thing. But if we see in this light, if the wife is not with her husband and she's wandering by herself, and then naturally some disturbance occurs in her mind or on the mind of the male. Yeah, the husband will go for somebody else and the wife will go for someone else. Then the society will be disturbed, and Vana Shankar will unwanted progeny may occur. Because even if the children do not come from such relationships, then the relationships, the unchaste relationships, are a disturbance to the happiness of society. Swami Maharaj, he was putting a lot of emphasis on this. In this shloka, sorry, can you just hold this? The children should stay with the mother and father. And when they're married, they should stay with their husband. Where the husband goes, the wife should go. This independence should not be there. The husband and wife should stay together. Otherwise your mind will be disturbed. And because of Kali, it's quite easy to be disturbed. In Kali Yuga, this disturbance is not unusual. Therefore, husband and wife should stay together. That lady, if she is staying alone, then others will have a bad will think bad of that woman. Why is she staying on her own? Why is she without her husband? Whatever you say, even if you think that she is my sister, others looking on to this relationship will think negatively or badly. If a lady stays alone, even if she speaks to her brother, then others onlooking will have a different perspective. In the sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the mind will be disturbed. Even staying with your mother in a solitary place is not appropriate. This shloka. पत्नी के साथ भी बोला you will be disturbed by staying even with your wife alone. This
so what to do?
Tendency, become sadhu and go to the forest. Even a knowledgeable person will be disturbed. So it is being shown in the scriptures that ladies should be protected.
They are keeping according to the rules and regulations of society.
They should be kept within the rules and regulations of society. Because those principles by which that society is functioning, this creates a foundation for the mothers in that society, that creates an impression on the children and the generations to follow. Just like the waters of a well are protected by a wall, so that the water from outside does not come into the well. You have to drink that water. You want to drink clean water, right? So you have to protect that water with a wall, so the water from outside does not come into the well, drinking water. Maybe by or also any creature does not fall accidentally into the well and contaminate that water. So these reasons are there. So their mind and consciousness is protected.
और दूसरे पुरुष के साथ जो है
It's not that you have a wife and still you are associating with other men, even though they may be your brother. This is not appropriate. That's why I said, if you want to speak to anyone, you keep your door open. Even if you're talking with another woman, you should always talk with the door open, apart from of your wife, of course, with any other woman. So if anybody sees you, then they have no suspicion on you. Nothing should be secret between one man and another woman, unless that is your wife or your husband. So scriptures does not sanction this. So this is what is shown. तो पत्नी के साथ जो एक स्थान पर जो विकार ना आए तो कैसे रहे?
उनका नंबर 1 कहा जाता है।
फुल नंबर
पत्नी के साथ विकार है तो विकार पत्नी के साथ उसमें कोई बात नहीं, रहने पर विकार होगा, इस श्लोक में कह रहे हैं।
हाँ, विकार होगा तो
पत्नी के साथ
I asked how not to have these disturbances of mind staying with your wife.
Yeah. And the answer? And his answer?
I think so. I'm asking a good question. So why did you get married in the first place?
मन को विकार होगा, इसलिए मन को शांत करने के लिए तो विवाह शास्त्र में दिया।
You got married to pacify your mind in this way, so your mind wouldn't go here and there.
I don't understand.
No, you got married to fix your mind on one person.
Right.
So my question was how to control the mind when you're with your wife.
Yeah.
So the reason is that you got married to do that. So help you control your mind. So you have to be like regulated, I think is implying, and
then to give up.
Yeah.
Work towards giving up.
Yeah.
But I think your question. But then once you give up, then how do you?
So it just needed clarification. That's all. I think. For me personally. Sorry, I missed that last question. What was the last question? What did she ask?
What about in the higher stage when a devotee, female devotee, she on her own, because
She's on her own.
Yeah.
Once she's renounced.
Yeah. So a good example of Ganga Mata Goswamini and also Janvi Devi. She stayed alone in Bhajan and Radhapuni and all that. So it is okay. That they give scriptures to give evidence they can do it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
No, it's saying about
They can renounce man.
Those ladies who have progressed in their spiritual life and are living alone, practicing spiritual. If you find some like Ganga Mata Goswamini or Rai Ramananda, then there is no question of their practice. Joe Rainamanda, he wrote the Jagannath Vallabh Nataka to manifest this book, this scripture. He was training girls of a very young age, 12, 13-year-olds, how to manifest these moods, how to play or enact in this pastimes. And this he could do because he is eternally liberated soul. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Rai Ramananda how he was eternally liberated person. He is seeing anyone, a girl, he was not disturbed. In the conditioned soul stage, living entities, just seeing a woman, they become disturbed. They have desire listas. Vikar change. Rayaramanda was associating with these young girls and training them. Still he was not affected. Like Shukadeva Goswami in his life story, in different kalpas, he heard everything from Vyasadeva. He did not hear about Raslila at that point. This is a story from the Puranas. Before speaking of the Ras Lila Katha in another Puran. Not of this kalpa. So Vyasadeva told Vyasadeva tested Shukadeva Goswami to go to Janak Maharaj to test whether his senses were controlled or not. Janak Maharaj was such a person that he, staying in any circumstances, his mind was not disturbed. He was not staying in this material world, performing his duty. He was not disturbed. Vyasadeva said, Vyasadeva told Shukadeva Goswami, go and get this stamp, evidence that you are able to control your senses before I tell you the Ras Lila Katha. Even in that assembly where Brahmavadis, great Brahmagyanis, these are Brahmagyanis. They are not disturbed by anything. They are absorbed in Brahma. In the Bhagavad Gita, so many shlokas are there to explain the condition and state of these Brahmagyanis. And others, there are 3 or 4 shlokas. The person whose mind is not disturbed, seeing somebody suffering, they don't affect it. We have the empathy towards that, the compassion towards that person who is suffering. But somebody who is in the Brahma Bhuta platform is not disturbed. Brahmagyanis. I was looking. Maharaj was saying, he saw Gurudev saw Vishnurad trying to turn over and asked me to help him to turn over. I said he'll turn over by himself. So, this is so passionate. I didn't follow his instruction. Sympathy is the golden key to open. It's always open. Sympathy is the golden key which unlocks. You don't need to. It's a golden key. It's very easy to break a golden key. Whether you put a lock or not, it doesn't matter. So this is a metaphor. When we lock a door, if we make a golden lock, whether there's anything valuable in the house or not, I'll take the golden lock. What's the point? Sympathy is such a thing. It always stays unlocked. Just seeing Sayambhuti, that's having that empathy, compassion on seeing somebody suffering, that you also suffer with them or feel. Brahmagyanis, they don't have any sympathy. I think I'm a Brahmagyani. I didn't have any sympathy for
because they're so detached, or
yeah, very
dry and detached.
It's that door is already open. It's like in a door. Just superficial. It just looks like it's locked. And there's two moods in this. You won't get a complete definition of this metaphor. Just latch. I call latch. Just a latch. A latch that is easily removed. Sympathy is not something that you tell somebody to do or have. It's there. Your heart will be naturally melted. Or
sympathy, compassion.
Compassion. Try and understand what sympathy is. Seeing another. Seeing somebody suffering, you want to help them, and you help them actually just by seeing them. If even your heart is moved, then you will act according to that sentiment. One person who's drowning, you'll just watch them drown. I have sympathy for that person drowning, but I will do something for them.
Whereas Brahmagyani stands back.
Yeah, stand back. Sympathy is the golden key to unlock. But it is actually a metaphor that describes that is already there.
Yeah.
That,
and what are we unlocking? Like
you're not unlocking. It's saying that it's already there in you. That compassion is
just
there.
letting it out.
Yeah, letting it open. Or it's already open, but it's just a matter of showing it or acting on it. So Shukdev Goswami is being sent to Janak Maharaj by Vyasadeva to learn, to be tested for being able to control his senses, where there were many Brahmagyanis and Atmagyani. There's no type of sympathy. The jiva is suffering its reactions. They're not affected by them. What can we do? This is the job of Paramatma. What am I? I have nothing to give or take in somebody else's suffering or happiness. If you do this, you will get this benefit, or if you do that, you will get that reaction. If you get married, you will get suffer. But I still want to marry, so well, okay, you suffer. You do. I'm not stopping you. I'm not, Gurudev, give me a permission to marry. He said, I'm not giving you permission to marry. You marry according to your own desire or
capacity.
Yeah. And then if something goes wrong, then you'll blame Gurudev. Gurudev, you told me I should get married. The sadhu will not say you should get married. They will stay neutral. You decide for yourself what is good for you, and then the result of which you will have to suffer. Yesterday I told that this marriage is just suffering, full of suffering. For the reason for which you came, you are not fulfilling. You came to perform bhajan, sadhan. I give you guarantee that from the moment the birth is born till the age of 18, the mother cannot perform any bhajan or sadhan. This is true or not? There's always thinking about their child. Because that child is kidnapped, not sick.
And then the child runs away at 18, never to come back.
And so, even up to the age of 18, the mother and father is so absorbed in the child. What bhajan? What bhajan will they do? What practice? No chant, no time to chant. Ask. You cannot chant your Gayatri mantra for 2 or 3 months, at least when the child is born. You have no time. Maybe night time they did once. There's no time. Sometimes they do, sometimes not. If I speak the truth, then there will be chastised, or it's just to show. Everything is just show. Even brahmacharis, they cannot do. So what chance is there for a mother who has responsibility?
So what's the answer?
Don't get married.
But brahmacharis can't do either.
Well, some. He's not saying about all. It's difficult for brahmacharis. He's saying about practical life. What is happening practically in your life? And now we're distracted. Sukadeva Goswami. Janak Maharaj. What's Janak? Siradhvaj. All the rishis, great sages were there in the assembly of Janak Maharaj.
He was a Brahma Rishi.
In his assembly, great sages, rishis used to come. Astavakra.
इसमें कहा जाता है जनक महाराज जो है ये अष्टावक्र ऋषि से ही दीक्षा मांगते हैं.
Janak Maharaj took diksha from Astavakra Rishi. In different kalpas, this pastime is different. Janak Maharaj, when he sat in the assembly, wearing royal dress, his wife, Sunena, very smiling, was showing her feminine gestures, smiling, and her eyes sidelong. All the rishis looked down, so thinking that they may be affected. Sukadeva Goswami sat there not affected at all. Not disturbed. Janak Maharaj is seeing this. Gurudev was telling one lecture. Just so Janak Maharaj gave the certificate to Shukadeva Goswami to go back to Vyasadeva and hear the Raslila Katha.
अधिकार नहीं।
Jai.
तब तो उसने राष्ट्र कथा सुना है। राष्ट्र कथा कोई साधारण थोड़ी।
Larsla Katha is not an ordinary thing.
राष्ट्र कोई साधारण कथा नहीं है। उसको सुनने के लिए ऐसी
Davan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. I cannot. You don't need to listen to the deeper secrets of this pastime. We were talking about Sita Devi. There was no fault on Lord Ramchandra's part. This did not. Ram did not send Sita to the to stay at Valmiki's ashram. It was her own desire to go. And at the same time, this Dobi tha? Kaun?
accusation.
This accusation came on her that she was not chaste, and she still had to prove her chastity. That a king who has a queen next to him has to be chaste. So the people were questioning the chastity of Sita.
इसके बाद जो है भगवान रामचंद्र की कथा जो आप लोग जानते हैं, देखा है ना सीरियल में,
And we saw this in the serial.
भगवान रामचंद्र देश बदल करके गांव-गांव में गए, देखा प्रजाओं की जो है कैसे कैसे आलोचना हो रहा है, और यही कथा जो है एक गांव में गए.
This pastime of the laundryman going back to his house. His wife had gone out and not returned back for one night. And that wife went to Lord Ramchandra to ask for his decision, his judgment on the matter. Her husband was not accepting her back because he thought that she was unchaste. She came at the middle of the night, and the guard on the door said, Lord Ramchandra is at the moment resting. It's not appropriate to wake up the Lord at that time. And that lady wanted the decision why her husband banned her from coming back into the house. The security guard sent her away because he was resting. In the morning, he heard, Lord Ramchandra heard where this lady is. Security guard could not find where she was. What is the duty of the king? Duty is to always think of the benefit, welfare, happiness of the citizens. A king is like a sannyasi. A king should be like a sannyasi. Just like a sannyasi is given his life for the benefit of the people. A sannyasi is not that person who just eats and sleeps and sits on a katha, speaks a little while, gets dakshina and then goes. This is not the qualities, characteristics of a sannyasi. And just like a tree is giving shelter, fruits, and thinks only for the benefit of others. The king is like a sannyasi. Just see this clip in the Ramayana before Sita went to the forest, to Valmiki. Dobi ke patni. the wife of the laundryman. So I will punish you. Lord Ram said to the guard, if you cannot find this lady. He chastised the guard. Why did you not wake me up at that time? That lady had come for a decision from the king. It was an emergency situation. It's not that somebody like in India they put a case for rape and the case carries on for 10 years. Not like this. The decision should be immediate. Yeah. Nirnay. You have to take a decision straight away. Leaving all other considerations aside, that rapist should be punished. Then otherwise the case will go on for 10 years. Not like this. In the Ramayana, this is being shown. One lady had come to his court for a decision. The security guard said, you were resting at that time. Lord Ramchandra, the king is like a sannyasi. He's on duty 24 hours a day. His life is for the service of others. When we see the life of Lord Ramchandra, our heart melts. Have you read? Go and read. Who is that lady? Go and find. What was the situation? Bring her here. They looked, could not be found. And then you stop this and start again, otherwise it will not send.